The girl noticed something was wrong with the milk her best friend brought her every day at first glance, but she didn't expose her friend directly. Instead, she pretended to accept the milk. As soon as she turned around, she gave it to an ugly female beggar on the street. It was only because in her previous life as the school beauty, after drinking the milk her best friend brought her every day, she had become fatter and uglier by the day. At the same time, her best friend, who had been ugly and fat, suddenly transformed into a great beauty. Because of this, the two attracted the attention of the entire school. Her best friend became an inspirational figure admired by everyone. The girl, however, became a typical example of being gluttonous and lazy. It was not until then that the girl began to suspect that there was something wrong with the milk her best friend gave her. But just as she was about to find out what was going on, her best friend hired someone to hit her with a car. On the verge of death, the girl finally learned from her best friend's mouth that the reason she had become fat and ugly was all because her best friend had cast a curse in the milk she drank every day. A curse that could swap their appearances. In the end, the girl left the world filled with deep regret. But she never expected that in the next second, she would be reborn 2 months earlier. In a music class, her best friend was urging her to drink today's milk. However, now that the girl knew there was something wrong with the milk, how could she drink it? She immediately said she had been trying to lose weight recently and wouldn't drink the milk. But her best friend panicked when she heard that. She immediately put on a show of disappointment, saying that she had worked so hard to prepare the milk for the girl, and not drinking it would be a waste. When the other students heard this, they also started criticizing the girl for being ungrateful and deserving of having no friends. Helpless, the girl had to take the milk, planning to drink it later. But her best friend refused to let it go and insisted she drink it right away. Fortunately, at that moment, a senior came over. He publicly announced that the school would soon hold a most beautiful face competition. Whoever gained the judge's approval would have the chance to be signed by a well-known talent agency. Upon hearing this, her best friend immediately stepped forward confidently to sign up. She even took the opportunity to touch the hand of the senior she had liked for a long time. Little did she know that the senior had come personally to see the girl he had met once before. But when he saw the girl's current appearance, he was instantly scared and fled in a hurry. Who would have thought that as soon as the senior left, her best friend started urging her to drink the milk again. Just as the girl didn't know what to do, she saw the beggar downstairs. A plan suddenly formed in her mind, so she immediately made an excuse to go buy a piece of bread to go with the milk and left the classroom. As soon as she turned around, she handed the milk to the beggar. Unexpectedly, as soon as the beggar finished drinking the milk, the girl felt an itch on her face. She took out a mirror and was shocked to find that the pimples on her face had disappeared without a trace. The girl immediately realized that as long as she didn't drink the milk, she could break the curse. But to prevent her best friend from finding out, she put on a mask and returned to the classroom, only to learn that her best friend had just been invited by the senior to attend a beauty pageant training at his father's company next week, and the senior's father was one of the organizers of the competition. When the other students heard this, they all praised her best friend for having a promising future. However, at that moment, one of the students noticed that a pimple had suddenly appeared on her best friend's face. Her best friend was instantly confused when she saw it. She couldn't understand why she had gotten a pimple, but the girl remembered that the beggar had the same pimple on her face. She immediately realized whoever drank the milk would swap appearances with her best friend. But her best friend thought it was just because the effect of the curse wasn't strong enough to have a more perfect appearance by next week. She started bringing the girl 2 bottles of milk every day from then on, and the girl accepted them calmly. As soon as she turned around, she gave them to the beggar. Unexpectedly, a week later, her body recovered rapidly. She also became thinner and thinner. On the contrary, her best friend started to gain weight gradually, but she thought it was because after falling in love with the senior, she often ate all kinds of delicious food. It wasn't until she ran into the thinner girl at school that she realized something was wrong.